Morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. This is a special broadcast from Joe Slick Live over here on twitch.tv/Joe Slick Live. The Joe Slick Live show. We're a little bit earlier than, and we're saying hello and good morning to you. The reason, Denise, it called Cape Horn. Cape Horn was rocked 7-5. Bam. And I don't know if you kind of been watching like I've been watching. Did you see what I see? No, hold on a second. Yeah. Ever since the moment came up, and we're getting some all kinds of crazy things. Update? Did we get an update somewhere? I keep hearing things. Hey. Yeah, it's we live close to where we live. Aftershocks. Anyway, let me show you out here. Bing, ding, ding. If you haven't seen this, I'm going to show you a dynamic Earth. And we have show on stream there. There you go. And there's a dynamic Earth right there. And I better not put them on. Can't do that. Don't want to expose somebody in the wrong way. And looks like also Hawaii is doing its thing again. Yeah. So here's a there we go. Good morning, Canuck.
Morning.
Yeah, man. Look at this, man. Big old banger, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's been no sevens down there that I can find in recording history. The highest quake down there has been a 6.5.
All right. So in doing that, I'm going to go ahead and do a search as well. Did you search the USGS on that?
No, I did. My earthquake tracker thing I go to.
All right. I'm going to go
But they
7.
used to like the same source as USGS.
All right. 1700 custom. I'm going to go down here.
There's a 6.4 down there almost in the same spot right before the Chile.
Yeah, I'm looking at a 7.1 in 1910. Here, share this tab instead. 1910, at least on USGS, okay? Very rare for these earthquakes to be hitting down here. The 7.7 Puerto Chabaca in Chile there, 1960, May 6th. Yeah, 7.7. So that's just, probably 800, 900 miles north. But on the very tip, 7.6 on Puente Ernest, Chile, 1949, December 17th, had a 7.6, as well as a 7.7 in 1949. So the likelihood of getting another 7, probably pretty high right now. In addition, just south of that on the Drake Passage, 1910, April 31st. So we're right. It always happens at this time period, right? There's 3 quakes happening in this time period right here that are large 7s or 7 pluses. Okay. The just north of it, 2013, we had on November 25th, we had a 7, as well as 1908, we had August 17, we had a 7.4 in the Falkland Islands. Falkland Islands, you say? And then Scotia Sea, 2013, we had a 7.7, 7.6 on 2003. And then as we get closer to Sandwich Islands, it starts to pick up substantially. 7.0 in 2006. And then you can see, I believe some of these are, maybe it was an 8, 7.2, 7.5, 80, 7.0, 7.3, 7.1, 8.1 right here. Now, this is one of the last 8s that happened in 2021 in August 12th. And And there is this video going out where somebody asks what happens to California in 2025, and Siri comes back and says a 9.6 on a San Andreas in August. So it's like, hey, I wonder if that's already pre-planned. Have you heard that one there, Canuck?
No, I never heard that.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I say it's more likely to be a big one in Chile first.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah. Yeah. And so there is large quakes, but not so much on the Drake Passage. I checked back from 1700. So, and all of these are roughly in, the 20th century. This is the first one, I think.
But the last time we had a big Chile quake was the Chile 8.8 in 2010.
Yeah.
Which was right before Baja 7.2.
Whoa. Yeah. I remember that one. Yeah. All right. So we're going to be watching, and Drake Passage is on the bottom level of the Occidental of all of the Americas, all the way from Alaska, the mountain ranges, all the way down. Excuse me. Apologize. Coffee goes down the wrong pipe, man. But the mountain range goes all the way down through Central America, from North America, and through the Andes of Peru and Chile, all the way down to Drake Passage, and it ends up down here. And affectionately, we call that the Walker Lane definition. So it's everything moving west crashes into the Pacific Ocean and Pacific Plate and all the other plates that broke and created the mountains. And they're not passive margins, they're the active margins. So Walker Lane is basically an active margin. It's kind of how it's kind of been included. Now it's been a little bit stretched, its definition, because it seems, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Canuck, it seems that when Peru goes really big, Southern Cal seems to go big. Now, depending on whether or not it's on the ocean side of Peru or whether it's inland, depends whether or not it's in the desert or in the sea of North America on the west coast. Is that
you usually need big quakes in South America before California goes big.
Right.
So either Chile, Peru, or Ecuador.
There we go.
Up.
Yeah.
Flutter says they can't hear me.
They can't hear you?
Yeah, so I don't know.
All right, I got you again, bud. Say hi.
Hello.
There we go. We got him. Sorry about that little technical difficulty, but we got it.
So they missed all our good comments already.
Yeah, missed all our good comments. I don't know if it was blocked out by I don't know, man. Something keeps dinging, man. I don't know where. I'm looking for it.
Well, I had two echoes when I first started because I had my laptop sound on and I had Twitch sound on here too. So I had to shut them all off. I was hearing
I don't know.
Double echoes.
I keep hearing, and maybe it's I don't know. But anyway, so I think I heard it before you came on, actually. So again, these are the largest quakes in the area. If you didn't hear this, from 1700, but most of them are. If I just went largest, and I did from here, there's 30 earthquakes greater than 7 in the local area. The largest being South Sandwich Islands in 8.1 that happened in 1929. And South Sandwich Islands in 1964 at 7.8. Scotia Sea in 2013 at 7.7. 1960 at 7.7. And Puerto Chabaca 1949 a 7.7 in Rio Grande, Argentina, up here or somewhere. South Sandwich Islands in 1933, 7.5. The Falkland Islands in 1908.
Oh, so South Sandwich in 33, was that before Long Beach or after Long Beach?
Yeah, let me look here. 1933, you said? Yeah. This would be, after.
Moderate magnitude 5.7, depth 10 kilometers 36 minutes ago.
All right, had a 5.
I don't know where that was.
Yeah, I know it didn't say too much. August 8th, August 28th. So Long Beach was in January, I think.
Yeah, February.
Was it February? I knew it was earlier in the year.
Yeah, it's early in the year.
But we're already on a rabbit hole. Hey, if you haven't seen a rabbit hole, look forward to it. Here's tomorrow.
Because there's 6.4.
Location, Drake Passage, class, moderate, magnitude 5.7, depth 10 kilometers 37 minutes ago.
So it must have been an aftershock.
Yeah, an aftershock. Looking at DAC here, share this tab instead. You can see the Lesser Antilles over there. Not that Lesser Antilles, but the Antarctic Ridge booming really big. And you can still see a lot of noise through the whole world. These straight up and down lines. Those are, lots of noise. Fiji, Vanuatu, low level of vibrations, also in Kyushu, Japan. Low level vibrations that are really a telltale sign that this quake was a very large quake, and it's still, even Bolivia and Peru, and Coquimbo, Chile, hey, and San Juan, hey, knock it off. San Juan, Argentina, making some noise there too. Low level vibrations are still hitting pretty hard. Even up in the Virgin Islands, up in the U.S., you can see a little barn burner, snow or worm burner there. In Ethiopia, still see it over there. Small little dingers. And Shikoku, Japan, see right up in here, these low levels. I wait, Japan. I don't think they're waiting on anything, but some vibrations happening through the whole doohickey there. And let's see. Looking at the tsunami. Share this tab instead. All right. Looking for the tsunamis here. They call it a 7.5, and look, 53, 44, 55. 44, 25, 17, 56, 06. These are all timestamps of information coming into the 0.3 to 1 meter Antarctic issued at 6:40 a.m. So 10 minutes ago. They're saying 1 to 3 meters. Chile, tsunamis, that is. Okay. Chile issued it at 6:40 as well. 1 to 3 meters. So half a meter all the way up to 1 meter in Antarctica. The depth they're saying is about 30 miles deep. So it's really too deep to really scare the hell out of somebody. But I'm looking interesting that we're getting different timestamps.
Location, Drake Passage, class, moderate, magnitude 5.4, depth 10 kilometers 42 minutes ago.
So now they're giving all the aftershocks.
Right. Simply Sue, I know you need sleep, babe. It's late. It's very late for you. Always a pleasure to see you, Simply Sue. I know knocking. Anyway, there is a threat for tsunamis, but not a very big one thus far. So, and they're calling it 30 miles depth.
Location, Drake Passage, class, moderate, magnitude 5.4, depth 10 kilometers 43 minutes
Well,
ago.
now they're starting to pop through. All right.
Yeah, they're starting to
All
give
right,
all
here-
the after.
Here's a 5.4. Here's a 5.7 that just came through USGS. So this is to expect at a 7, we should get multiple fives as well.
That one. Yeah, that one that's down there at the bottom is the
Mhm.
exact same spot where the one hit in '64,
Right.
right before the Chile megaquake. So that aftershock right there, exact
Yeah,
same
right
spot.
here. And this here is in Drake Passage in 1910, April 31st. January, February, March 31st, sorry. March 31st, a 7.1 in 1910. So here's our quake today, right? And then you'll see that one. Those are the closest, or that's the closest big one. And then, of course, way up here in Punta Arenas, 7.7, and they call it the Rio Grande. Argentina 7.7, and then this one is a 7.6. Punta Arenas, Chile. So both of these are in Chile. The most huge quake, of course, happened way up here on Puerto Montt, and that was a 9. That happened in what?
I see there was a 6.5 there in December 1975. So
Yeah.
now I'm trying to remember what happened in '76 in California.
Lots of fires. That's all I remember. 76. Well, we do another search, right? Yeah, here we just do another search and search catalog, custom. Let's go 6. Custom. What year?
1976.
All right, I'll do 74 to 76. And then do custom and see what happened up here in the States. All right, use that region, search. A lot of explosions. Nuclear explosions. Tons of them. But no 6s. All those created a six my gosh. 6.3 nuclear explosion. Oh my gosh, Beatty, Nevada. Yeah, no 6s up in that range, bud. So that's pretty crazy. Let me see if I can redo.
Well, just in my preliminary search, because I was concentrating on California in '76. So this quake I looked up on the earthquake tracker thing was December 29th. I see a magnitude 4.2 earthquake occurred near Whittier on January 1st, 1976. So I was like,
I got a Ludlow at 5.3 in 1975, and I've got a 5.2 in Hollister in 1974.
So that would have been like 2 days after. So that's I can see if this is going to repeat itself.
Yeah, let me see.
And the biggest quake that year in California, they said there was a 6.3 off 67 kilometers west of Trinidad, California. Oh, and I gotta see the date.
I don't know where that is, right?
But that was at the end of the year, November 26, 76.
Oh, maybe I didn't put it far enough south. All right, I'm doing a search for Cali.
So it's offshore Northern California.
All right, so I did it. All right. These are all the quakes for the 10 years of the 70s from 1970 to 1980 up in Southern Cal. So down here in Mexico, 1974, we had a 5.6 in Baja California. 1975, we had a 5 in Baja, 5.1 in Baja in 1975. The Delta had December 7th, 1976, had a 5.5. And then in 1985, and we also had a 5.2 in Mexico. And I'm getting ready for the bigger one. It's right above here. So in 1978, we had a 5.0 in the Delta. Then here's the big one. 6.4 in the Imperial Valley, 1979. Call it the Imperial Valley earthquake. They may have even lowered that quake here. Let me see. Open this.
Oh, and I found out the biggest quake after that one happened at the end of 75, February 4th, 76, 7.5 in Guatemala.
Guatemala. Okay. Thank you. 6.
So that would have been a little over a month after the 6.5.
That'd be down here in Guatemala.
Panama had a 7 as well that year.
All right.
July 11th.
1979, Joshua Tree of 5.2. Ludlow, 5.3 and 75. Interesting that Joshua Tree in 79 and Ludlow 4 years before. Both of those are key elements of the super big quakes that happened later in the 1990s. Yeah.
So I just went to the 76 wiki for quakes.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Lytle Creek, 70. There is a large quake here, 6.6 in 1971. But I knew about that one. That's my first earthquake. And then a 5.3 right after. Off the coast in Los Angeles, 79. 5.2, 5.3 off the coast, Point Magoo. 73 off the coast, Santa Cruz Islands, 5.1. Santa Barbara, 1978. So I think 73, and 79. Early 70s were banging pretty good. In 1970 right here, 5.2, a lot of creek. The only anomaly is 1979 Malibu. And guess what? We just have a bunch of earthquakes in Malibu?
Yeah.
And this is off the coast and U.S. faults. And I want to say this one here, it's not the Santa Monica fault, but if we looked at, faults in Cali. Share this tab instead. In ArcGIS. And I think one of the ones that we studied, the Ventura fault, down here. Sorry. What one is this called? San Pedro. Yeah. So that fault is off San Pedro. Yeah. All right. So that's the anomaly that took place. But the other ones are clearly off the Santa Monica fault there. Malibu Coast fault, Santa Monica, Palo Verde's fault. So in looking at our history, when we did our studies, in Los Angeles, even this one here, 70, 73, 3 years difference in these. And then the 71, which was a large 6.6. So when the coast goes off interiorly.
In 76, the biggest quakes in South America were Panama and then Guatemala after the 6.5 that's in the same spot as the one we just had.
There is a quake in 76 in Westmoreland. So that's basically the volcano, right? In Brawley.
Yeah.
5.1 in 76. Seemed like 79 and 80 a lot of big quakes were happening. 75 Ludlow, but not
Turkey
seeing.
had a 7.3 and
What about up here?
76.
72, 74,
That's interesting.
79, 79. Yeah, 79 seemed to be a big year for California earthquakes. 1980 and 79. Of course, that stands to reason because St. Helens went off, right? A lot of quakes in San Francisco in 1980 along the Greenville Fault, all the way down, up from the Calaveras from 79 onward. That's pretty interesting.
6.7 Vancouver Island, 76 too.
Oh, really? And then out there in 79. Yeah, I mean, 79 was big for California, dude. Really, in Southern Cal and Central. I'm going up to Northern Cal. Lake Oroville was going off in 75. Yeah, a couple of big quakes. 3 of them, in fact. And then if I went offshore, 76 had a big Trinidad 6.3 off Eureka. Yeah. And then let's see if we have any 70, 74, 80. There's another 1980. 74. I'm sorry. Share this tab.
So it did the Eureka one quake before.
Yeah, November 26th. Yeah.
Vancouver Island quake, which 20th.
79, 73, 72, 74. Yeah.
So it does look like
okay.
it came out.
There's another Oregon quake on December 19th in 1976, 5.4. So,
because Vancouver Island quake was December 20th.
All right. So yeah, the day before, in fact. Yeah. So we had it went north. Yeah. We have November 26th, a 6.3, and then going north, a 5.4 on December 19th, a month later. Yeah. What's out here?
And that year, the biggest quake going up the west coast was 7.5 in Guatemala.
All right.
Which was February.
And we have an interesting.
Mexico had a 6.4, Guerrero.
Way out east of California, a 5.0 in 1976, also November 11th. So that seems to go first, and then the Eureka quake a few days later. No, the day after the Eureka quake. Okay. A 5.0 interiorly. All right.
Yeah, it's adjusting to what it's doing off the
coast,
just like when we had the 7 there the last time.
Yeah, we watched that, and they go down by Reno and the interior of the Nevada line, California line. I wonder if there was anything up in Seattle and all that led to the Vancouver one. Let me do another search for it. We're searching 1976, everybody, and this is kind of what we do around here.
Yeah, and we're doing that because there was a 6.5 in almost the same spot as the 7.4 one that just happened, and it was December 29th, 1975. So I want to see what happened in 76 after that happened.
Right, and I'm doing a search on specifically the 10-year, the decade on USGS, because a lot of times they don't really cover the information that we want. So doing a search for the whole West Coast here. Search 5 and above is what I'm looking for. And you can see all the 5s in that 10 years period, right? Really big quakes. Yeah, I might have to limit this down. Strong movement across the Chile Rise, a little bit around Easter Island, a massive amount up here in Guatemala, Mexico, Nicaragua, strong quakes. if I did the largest magnitude first, was an 8. There was an 8 in 1970. Get that. July 31st, 1970 in Colombia. Wow. And then Peru, 1970 as well, and a couple of months before.
Yeah, that would be all leading into your 71.
Right. And then Chile, 1978 was the next big quake. So that was 7.8. 1979 was a 7.7 up here in Peru, or Ecuador, actually. And 1978 again, Mexico, or is that Guatemala? That's Mexico. Oaxaca.
71, Silmar was in February too, I think. So anything that was happening in 70 down there would have run into the early part.
Right. 75, Chile, 7.7, 79. It seemed like 79 was a big year. We'll have to do a study on 79. 79 and 80, which led up to St. Helens. Yeah. That would be an interesting one to do tomorrow there, bud.
Yeah, and not long
Hi,
after,
Dub.
Mount St. Helens was the 3/6 at Mammoth Mountain. Too.
Right. And what year was that? In 1980?
Yeah, it was like a few weeks after Mount St. Helens. Because they were afraid that Mammoth was going to erupt or Long Valley.
Yeah.
So everybody was all scared because it happened right after Mount St. Helens.
75, 74, 73 was a 7.5. What is that? Morelia. That was in January 30.
So if you do a search for 80 in Mount St. Helens, that's mostly what will come up. But then you'll find out that when you dig a little bit more, that they had 3/6 at Mammoth Mountain, Long Valley. So they were all paranoid that was going to erupt too. But it's all buried because everybody looks up Mount St. Helens stuff first.
I'm not seeing a whole lot in 76 of 5s and above, everybody. That's what I'm looking up. I'm looking strictly at the 7s right now.
I think there was Santa Barbara quake in 76 because I remember us talking about it.
Yeah.
Offshore Santa Barbara.
Yeah. That one was a 5.1, 1978. Yeah. According to USGS, everybody.
Yeah, I thought there's one in 76 too. But
right now it's not showing on USGS. So for some reason,
maybe it is 78 then.
There is a Panamanian quake in 1976, July 11th, a 7.0 in Panama.
Yeah, I saw that. That's the same year because Panama, Guatemala were acting up. 76.
Right.
I see a Chile one, 6 point something. So after that Drake Passage one happened then.
Canada quake, 6.7 Tofino. Yeah, and that's your Vancouver one.
Yeah, December whatever it was, 20th.
December 20th. It's 1976. So
So it looks to me like after the 6.5 at Drake Passage in the same spot as where we just had the one now, it adjusted like 6s going all the way up and it had 7s in the middle, Panama and Guatemala.
Location.
That's what it looks like it did to me.
Class, moderate, magnitude, 5.4, depth, 10 kilometers, 15 minutes ago.
Now this one is way bigger, a mag bigger. So are we going to get like a really like Guatemala, Mexico, if it follows the same pattern?
Excuse me.
Class, moderate, magnitude, 5.4, depth, 10 kilometers.
You've got them both going.
Yeah. Because I have two different phones.
Right. What are you, a drug dealer? You got 2 phones?
Yeah, I have several phones.
I don't know why. Well, one's your Um,
Yeah. One's my
One's your
one's my-
government phone. I know you work for the Canadian government. It's okay.
yeah, one's my old phone.
Yeah. Everybody doesn't know about Canuck's secret
Yeah.
job is working for the government. So, and believe me, when you tell him that he'll tell you, yes, he works for the government. So,
Yeah, because all my jobs I had, that's what I first had, was working for the government. And then they got rid of me because I knew too much. So,
yeah, and do you want to believe that? I sell you some land out in the desert. Yeah. So the last, well, get this, the last 8, I think it's 21, and one of them is Sandwich Islands. That happened in August 12th. Let me see. Did we do a search on let me do this. Share this tab instead. Here's the last 8, because South Sandwich Islands had an 8.1 in 1929, an 8.1 in August 12th, and then we were looking up 64, or we were looking up 74, huh? Yeah. And as I scanned down, or 76 we were looking up, not seeing anything. 91, Sandwich Islands. Wow. But that was after. That's 12/21 and 91. 77. South Sandwich had a 7.1. Yeah, so Sandwich Islands is not having anything to do with anything that happened going up to Vancouver. And the reason we do that is we have a supposition that pressure or power or Coulomb stress, whatever you want to call it, seems to go north on the southern part of the Pacific realm. And in some arguments, people make that it goes clockwise in the north, and then somewhere they meet in the middle. And so there are 2 theories out there, and that's what's working. I call it basically, if you ever seen, I forget what it's called. You're a smart cookie there, Canuck. When you look at a wheel that's spinning on the highway, it looks like it's going backwards. And the weakest link always breaks first. So if it breaks in Fiji and then moves to PNG, then moves to the Marshall or the Marianas, and then up to Japan and Kamchatka, and then over to Alaska, that's because Fiji is the weakest. But it's not saying the pressure moving that direction, as is the same when we see it moving the other way up the East Pacific Rise, or up the Occidentals in North and South America and through Central. The weakest, or the most, where it has the most stress, breaks first, and then we see the backflow happen. Often we see the backflow move all the way up into the Americas, North America, that is, from south. Many times we've seen from Chile, not so much as we've seen from Peru and Central America. We see that stuff go right up into North America. And because of the North American plate, I wonder if I did a search on plate boundaries. There is a...
Yeah, and there's a new study that just came out that they were studying the Pacific plate, and they say now that there's faults crossing the whole thing. And when the plates move, it goes across the plates, which is why you have quakes and volcanics in the middle going across. So there's a new thing that just came out that just in the last couple of days. It's a study from one of the universities in Ontario, Toronto, and they're saying that there's faults all across, which is basically the lineaments that I'm talking about.
Sure.
So it's not just across the continents, it's also across the oceanic plates too. And now that they have stuff out there to monitor it, they can see that that's what it's doing. So when I do all this stuff, I'm doing it by lineament. I'm not doing it by
Right. And your approach is different, which that's why it dovetails real good with my approach. And what it does for me is it reinforces what I'm seeing, because you're seeing the same thing, but your approach is different. You're using the lineaments, and I only know a few lineaments, whereas you know quite a bit more.
And that's what explains the intraplate quakes that are all these. They call them intraplate.
Right.
That they're trying to figure out why it's doing it there. And technically, if you got a lineament, it's intraplate because it goes across all plates. So, because it doesn't
Correct.
give a crap about if it's underwater or not underwater.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And see, let me see. I could probably take easy to help. Let me go ahead and just do this, and then we can see these quakes down here. It's not a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and save this screenshot, and then I'm going to open that screenshot, kind of show you what
it doesn't give a crap what we're building on top of it either.
No.
Doing it before we're building stuff.
Right. Hold on here. Open with paint. Yeah, I can draw on that. All right, let me see if everybody can see that. No, you can't. There we go. Window capture. No. It's not a window capture. It's a display capture. All right, there we go. Windows 10. No. What the heck? Hey. Cancel. Windows capture properties. That one? No. This one. There we go. All right. So let me see if out here they got to be able to see it too. So bear with me, everybody. Working at it, and let me put this one back up there, and then just go like this. I want to explain what you see when you talk about lineaments. So let me share this green window paint. There we go. Share that one, and then show on stream. All right, you can see that. So basically, I'm going to draw straight lines. It doesn't mean they're straight. It's just easier for talking. I'm going to zoom in specifically on one. I'm going to call it the Texas lineament. We kind of see this lineament all the time. There's this Blanco fracture zone right here. Let me see. Can you? I don't know if they can see it, but I'm going to draw. The Blanco fracture zone kind of goes through Corpus Christi, and it kind of goes in basically that direction. Now, I'm not seeing it.
Goes through South Africa where all the gold mines and diamond mines are.
So,
and then Kerguelen, and then all the way to Cape Myrtle.
So that's roughly the idea of what, and then also this goes north, like this. And it's Canucks believe that it traverses the world. So you draw that line, and that's basically the Texas lineament. Now, what we'll see on this, and if I draw a circle now, what we'll see is right here, that section right there, that section right there, that section right there, that section right there.
Oh, site just crashed.
Oh, it did? Reconnecting. Yeah, it did.
They didn't like us talking about that.
Hey, refresh, everybody. Refresh. Oh, it could just be an attack, somebody.
They didn't like us talking about the Texas lineament.
Yeah. Well, there's specific people that use attacks. I've seen it through the whole time I've been doing.
I just drink my coffee anyway.
Yeah, you got coffee?
Thank you. I only got because the earthquake happened when I was halfway through.
Yeah.
drinking.
Okay. We have our visuals back. Sorry about that, everybody. Somebody got kind of mad, and because we're doing live, and let me see. Did I lose it for the other side too?
Yeah, so it wasn't accidental because I see butterflies. That's kind of funny. Accidental.
Yeah. Yeah. Vibrations throughout the world persist. So let me see. Yeah,
Well,
okay.
Denise says it was the Russians.
Is the Ruskies, the Chinese or the Ruskies? Yeah, I haven't done a morning report here yet. Well, we're not due for another. I like doing it at 7:00, but I have to do it at 8:00. But hey, whatever. Bleeding Ruskies. Anyway, so this image talks about the yellow line would be the liniment. That's a magnetic, and I think I've got Canuck agreeing that it's magnetic.
Yeah.
That it's a magnetic line.
Well, they call them magnetic lineaments now in the
Right,
new
right.
studies.
Right.
Since
And I've seen
2022.
USGS and people like that. Yeah.
Since
And-
they launched Landsat 9.
Yeah. And
'Cause
you know
that's
what?
they're seeing it with.
I'm going to let you explain this. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Hang on. I need my other cup of coffee, man.
So I didn't realize this until I started looking up. I wanted to see if there's any new studies on lineaments in Africa. And that's when I noticed in all the new studies that have come out since 2022, they're using Landsat 9 data, and they can see them like going through Africa, these magnetic lineaments, they call them, and then crossing out through the fractures in the Atlantic Ocean going across to South America. So that's what they're calling them now, based upon what the stuff they can see with the new magnetometer thing on the Landsat 9 satellite that they're using for all sorts of different stuff. That's just one instrument that's on it. So if you went and did a search on lineaments in whatever continent today, in all the new studies, that's what since 2022 when they launched that satellite, they start referring to magnetic lineaments. That's what they call it. And they can actually see them with the satellite, and how they don't care about being on the continent or not. They can see them crossing like the ocean going across to like South America. So Africa to South America, for example. So it's pretty interesting stuff. And they're like everywheres. So if you start digging into all this stuff, like you can search a particular area and just put neotectonics of the UK, for example, because that's what the liniment studies, they changed the name of it and called it neotectonics. So then once you put that in, you'll see all these latest studies on whatever the lineaments or whatever are in your specific region or whatever. And then they get even more detailed with faults now too, because they find that it's basically the same thing. Like how the liniment is oriented is the same way as the faults are oriented. So that's basically what's going on. So when like the new study I just saw in the last couple of days, it was talking about there's faults that transect the whole Pacific plate from one side to the other. And they know now because of all the new information they're looking at and all the stuff have like out in the ocean now to monitor like where earthquakes and stuff are, and they can detect that they're going across the plate from one side to the other. That's what they basically say in this new study that just came out. So basically it's all kind of backing up all my crazy ideas that I've had now for a while, just from watching earthquakes and everything else. That's pretty wild stuff. So I imagine eventually they're going to put this all together if they haven't already. Maybe the government or the AI or somebody already has. Because I don't know why they'd be making all these things about stuff saying big quakes are going to happen before they do. So they must know something. And all their exercises that they do for whether it's earthquakes or preparing for tsunamis or whatever, they take like historical data, put it into it, and then they do an exercise a certain year or so many in like a year, and it's always a very specific number on a very specific fault or a very specific place. And it seems like they're trying to do it in preparation for something that's going to happen pretty soon. So why would they be doing that? So it's pretty interesting stuff when you start digging into all these things.
Yeah, apologize. I had to wash my hands, let's just say. My eyeballs were floating, man.
Yeah. Now, to what Joe has the Texas limit on there right now. So if we just, to give an example, say that same line between 2019 and 2021 went super crazy.
That same line.
Yeah.
2019,
so,
2021.
Like if you go back to Ridgecrest, because Ridgecrest is on that same line.
All right, let me do a search here. Same thing. I'm going to leave this. Where the hell is it? Paint. All right, I'm gonna leave that up. And everybody sees that. Okay, good. Make sure. Yeah, everybody sees that. I'm gonna do the search. What was the dates you wanted?
Like just 2019 to 2021. Because you can pretty much see that's what it was doing.
All right, 2019, 2018. And, I'll do it up till now. Shit, screw it. Custom, and I can't really do a custom.
No, it's too hard to do on that angle.
Yeah.
Because it wants you to do a box for you guys.
Right.
Like we'd have to do like each area along that line.
Yeah, let me do up to North America. Okay, I'll do this. I'm doing 6s and above on this firm, so let me search. All right, so I'm going to try and show you both. All right. Let me zoom out on this. Bring this one in over here. Go, boom. All right, let me see if that's all working. All right, it works on Twitch. Does it work on this one? No, it doesn't. All right, should. All right. Well, all right, let me just, I go back and forth, I guess. So, show on screen. This one. No, this one. No, this one. Share this tab. All right, so this is our 2018 to 25. Okay, these are everything 6 and above, right? And but we're looking specifically along the lineament. Here's one on the lineament, a 6-zone Brandon at 24, right? So we look back at our map and click this one. We can see right up here where the red circle is. So if we look at the next red circle, we look here at kind of a junction of one fault with another fault, and go back to there, show on stream, zooming in. Here are the other faults, right? Here's the 7.6 that happened in 25. Here's another one in the Cayman Islands that happened in 2020, 6.1. And then we also see down here in Spain, 1973, right? And 24, how 73? No, 7.3 in 2018 and 20. So what I'm saying is during the time periods, you'll see within 3 years, you'll see along a lineament activity, right? Here's 25. Here's 2018. Here's 2024. And then if you keep following it, you got another one down here, 6.0 in 2020, right? So that's kind of how we watch it. Now, this has a broad range of earthquakes over the years. And it's a really hard to do the search, but over time, we see these events happen. And so why are we saying that? Share this tab instead. We're saying that because of this quake here, the 7.4, and then there's just a 5.4 that just been showed up, a 5.4, 5.7, 5.6, I'm sorry, and a 5.7. Large quakes all happening right here. And what we're saying is, okay, where's the lineament that this is showing us?
Well, that one would be Walker Lane, but that's different.
Walker Lane, yeah. Texas lineament. So, and that's why I jumped off talking about the Texas. You can see, look at where earthquakes are happening right now, right? You say, well, what lineament are these happening? What, basically going back to this and share on screen.
Because I think it has to be coming from 3 to make a big break.
Right. And we're going to do some research real quick on that. Look for the last 2 years, last year and the next year, which we can't. We can look for last year's and try to see where this pressure came from. And we already know it came from the east, but the beast in the east.
Apparently, the Google AI or whatever knows where the next quakes are going to be already.
Whatever.
That's what it's doing.
All right. So basically what I wanted to share with you is this. You see that yellow line, right? I'm going to draw another yellow line. There's another one that we see often that's basically right there. And we have another one that kind of, it's odd, but it will go like this, and then it will go like this, and then it will go, oh, okay. It'll go like this.
Yeah, because the next one up, I think, is the owl.
Right. The next one is the owl, yes. And what happens if I zoom in, right? This segment, let me draw that segment there.
That goes northwest to southeast.
Right. This segment that started up here, and I don't want to make it too big here. This segment right here, this segment right here, and then this segment right here, and then it continues like this, so this segment right here. This is all considered by us, not by any other definition, as the Walker Lane series. Now, I kind of think of it like this, that this is a whole separate segment right here. And
like I think Walker Lane is northwest to southeast, but it's a different angle.
Right.
So it comes right down the coast of the Americas.
Correct. And all part of this is kind of like what you see out here in the steps of the plate boundaries, right? This is how I see it. So Walker Lane comes down here, turns, and then turns, and then turns. All right. So this segment of Walker Lane continues in South America, down where we have the earthquake today, by the way. But these two center sections are also part of the Walker Lane series, because what we see is often something out of Peru will end up here.
Yeah, because they say now that the magnetic lineaments can be wide, but they're also saying the same thing about faults now too. They're saying faults are way wider than what they think, because they're going down at an angle and they're intersecting other ones. Right. So this is what they're talking about now. Everything's wider than what they think.
And in addition to that is, well, why do you say that this kicks over like this and it's not in a straight line, just like the Texas lineament or the owl, the owl lineament? Well, that's because of this. I think this particular line, this one here and this one here are actually the same, but these two in the middle are related to these. Out here, you'll see quakes too, out in this Galapagos, right? What happens is this liniment, let's say the Texas liniment, gets really activated. So a signal will cruise along that line magnetically, electromagnetics. This will cruise along this line. So you can virtually get an earthquake here, an earthquake here, right? Here. And we've seen this often where wherever this magnetic pulse is going, that it will shift off of one magnetic line to another. Now, get this. What's even more complicated is there are other liniments. One that goes right through here, right? Northeast to southwest.
Yeah, the one's coming from Iceland.
And that's the Lawrence one. And then there's another one from Iceland, like Canuckscott. And whoops, sorry about that. What I've seen, and I'll put it as gray, kind of comes down the coast and then kind of merges over this way, right? And I think that it's a activation along, because you'll see those in the Carolinas, right? You'll see earthquakes happening in the Carolinas off New York and stuff. Because I think there's another liniment that goes right through here, and that this St. Lawrence liniment, whoops, I'll do that, go like this, vibrates. Or vice versa, this one's vibrating. And as it does, these two play on each other. What's also interesting, if you throw even more stuff at it, is
the Greece thing coming across.
Yeah. The
east-west.
The what do you call it? The when the sun gets blocked out, right?
Oh, and the eclipse stuff, yeah.
Yeah. They cross the same way. North America. And it's crazy. It's like, well, how does that happen? Well, if you're looking at liniments and you're looking at why earthquakes are happening along these areas, and these are supposition, it's just ideas and things. There's no, concrete proof. We're just saying, hey, this is kind of repetitive. They're saying, hey, take a closer look. And it was like going, how do you deny some of these things? You're a conspiracy guy. No, we're not. We're saying, look, these are observations. We're looking at the entire world, not just looking at the randomness of earthquakes. We don't believe in that bull crap. I don't even think USGS believes in them anymore. But so in looking at contextually speaking today, what does all this mean? Well, we have this earthquake down here, this 7.4. Now it's down to a 7.4, right?
Yeah.
Big earthquake. What's going on?
So if it does what it does in 76, we should get big quakes, Panama, Guatemala, and then coming up.
Right. I'm going to show you something worldwide, custom 7.2 and above. Custom. I'm only going to go back.
But this one is 7.4, so it's a mag higher than the 6.5 that was in the same spot at the end of 1975, December 29th, 1975. And the 7.5 in Guatemala was February 4th, I think it said in there. So it took it a month, a little over a month to come up. It looks like to me from that same spot. So now we'll see if it does it faster this time or whatever. We'll see what it does.
Correct.
and apparently went right up, and then it had a 6.7 Vancouver Island, December 20th of 76. 6.7. So it basically went up the entire west coast of the Americas from that spot.
Oh, is that your sister telling you?
Yeah, she's getting all her stuff off of a
Oh, it's good.
telegram. She said they evacuation order in southern Chile for the tsunami, I guess.
Tsunami, yeah. Right. So Twitch can see this. Let's go ahead and go back to you guys and say share.
So I guess we should check the tsunami.
Yeah. Is that it? I think show on stream. Yeah. All right. So
How high is the tsunami? They're saying
1 meter, right? 1 to 3 meters.
1 to 3 meters.
Yeah, yeah. There's virtually the Texas liniment banging
I think
away.
they already had it. Would have had it by now.
No, it's pretty far away. And then there's another liniment.
Because
Yeah,
Sandra
right there.
said that they're showing people, but they're not like walking very fast or whatever. Trying.
All right, let me look
You know,
at.
so I guess they don't seem to. They're not in like a big hurry.
No.
Get out of there.
But again, I'm showing online here. Let me see what you guys got. Yeah. So there's a liniment and there's a liniment. Two Texas, one's Texas and one is, we don't even know what the hell this one's called. And very, very interesting.
Iceland.
Yeah, the Iceland. And now there's another one that I think covers this one here. And this way.
Yeah, there's one that goes through the Kermadex that lines up with the West Chile Rise too.
Yeah.
I don't know what to
And
call that.
so these are liniments, and if you look at the lines, there's another one that goes this way too, by the way. And there's the other one that goes that same angle. What happens is electricity travels along these liniments, and magnetic electricity, right? It emanates from our core, and these lines get played on. And I know this is really far-fetched, but we've seen it over and over and over again.
Well, not really, because supposedly they can see this now with Landsat 9.
Well, there you go.
If you read all the new stuff, they can see where these lines are that cross all the continents and cross over the oceans to the other stuff. That's what they call it.
This is stuff that we've been saying for almost 5 years since JSL has been on. And it's a Joe Slick live show, but we've talked about it before I went live on here too. So this is not new. We're not the initiators, but we're the people that talk about this where nobody else is talking about it, because it's just far out, man. And yeah, it's on a flat map, but it's kind of weird how it works, you know?
Yeah, well, the flat map is 2D, right?
Yeah.
But 3D, it actually goes around the world if you talk to the neotectonics people.
Mm-hmm.
But same thing. We're just looking at a line from the top, so it's 2D.
Right. I mean,
curved.
I wanted to share that stuff with you because often when we're talking here on our show, and I say our show because Canuck is every bit as important as I am here on this. We love it, and it's interesting. It's like, whoa, did you see that? And we're not forecasting like forecast people do, you know, like the Weather Channel or, you know, some other wackadoodle say, oh yeah, look out. We'll say a place of interest. We'll say we're going to watch it. On this image here, the big quake down here, right? We have another big quake. Where was it? Up in here. Oh, right here. So 7.6 and a 7.4, which was bigger. So I want to see what actually came in. It came in as a 7.5, I believe, right? And magnitudes, body. I got 7.3, 7.3, 7.4, maybe even 7.5. No, 7.4. So 7.3 to 7.4, they've got it knocked down. They got a 7.4, so they're right on the money. So this quake 7.4. Here's a 7.1. Here's a 7.7. Here's a 7.1. Here's a 7.1. Here's a 7.0. Here's a 7.3. And here's a 7.0. So here's the 7.3 that happened December of last year. Right? And here's the 7.6, 7.7 that happened, a month ago? So this line, look at Kamchatka lines right up with it. So happens that also in Kamchatka, we've got a lot of 3 or 4 volcanoes that are acting up. I think there's one more large 7 that hasn't shown itself. And so in looking at this, we draw a line from right here, the 7.7, right? If we just did the largest 7.7, and then there's the other one. Okay, yeah, the Mexican quake, or Guatemala, right? Cayman Islands, Georgetown, right? So this one, and now this one. There's your triangle, right? It's almost a right triangle, just upside down. And so maybe this is the last one, or maybe it's to initiate another triangle.
Oh, yeah, it's going to make another one.
Yeah. And the historical record shows where's in 1976 is all we got to work off of. That's why we went through the dates. We started looking at other earthquakes, and we started looking at other historical records to say, okay, what happened when this went off? And see if it repeats itself. And often we'll see things repeat themselves, if not directly on the same spot, or semi close. And it's not like this earthquake and this earthquake are the same earthquake. No, this earthquake can precede it, or vice versa, and it's just in a series of activities like this one up here, the 7.6 in Georgetown. We didn't see anything happen. And then over here, Mandalay, in Miramar, or Mandalay, not Mandalay, but Miramar popped. And now we have another big quake down here. There's a good triangle right there. Straight across and then down. Or from here, back to there. Technically speaking, it will go back to the Pacific side of things. Could be down in the Kermitics, or even Kamchatka or the Aleutians. But I believe it to go back to the east side. We've seen it often where it will take one side of the plate, bounce to the other side, and then go back. But this one, how it went back down here, that 7.7, down here being pushed. Or this could be a new initiator and pushing everything back. So if we're looking at images, which I pulled up a few, or I made a few. Let me see if I can share these. See if this helps. All right. Yeah, this one might help. See if I can share that with Canuck. Oh, it did. No, it shared it over here. Let me see. Share screen.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the article about the faults across the Pacific now.
All right. Thank you.
It was on SciTech Daily, but
all right.
Can't find it.
So in looking at this, you can see the plate movements, right? So when we see an earthquake up here on this, strike slip up here where the two subduction zones come together, and we seen over on this side, right here, right on this plate boundary, and now we have something down here. The Antarctic plate's move in that direction. Are we going to see some activity move up the Atlantic Ridge, or is this quakes? What we see out of this one comes over. We see some Turkey activity, and everybody's a heightened alert to what's going on in Turkey because of this. 7.7 that came in, traveled all the way over into Turkey. I haven't seen a Greece quake happen yet, so I'm not too concerned about U.S. right now or the West Coast. However, that's not always an indicator, right? But it's kind of, are we reading the tea leaves? Are we making a whole lot of non-scientific suppositions? Probably. But when we see these things happen over and over and over again, the blue areas are subduction zones. That's one plate underneath another. The red plates are spreading centers where the plates are spreading apart. The Miramar quake was in subduction zone, and this one today is in the subduction zone. The quake in the Caribbean is along a strike slip. So 2 subduction zone and 1 in a strike slip. That's not in a spreading center, but pretty close to all 3 would be near triple junctions. That's also as another, something that's out there. So I find that kind of interesting too. What else can we say about this through our observations? Should there be another one? I mean, everything's south of the Tropic of Cancer, right? Yeah, everything's south. So if I went to GE, where's the Tropic of Cancer here? Right. View grids. All right. Tropic of Cancer. Yeah, everything's below Tropic of Cancer. Today is actually in the Antarctic Circle almost. The Miramar quake happened south of the Tropic of Cancer as well. So interesting that both the Miramar and the I'll share this instead. Both the Miramar and the other quake that happened right out here off the Caymans are relatively close in proximity on the Earth's plane.
Which was 7.6. The
right.
one we had Caribbean there.
And here's like 90.
And then we had 7.7 Myanmar.
22, yeah. So a little bit below 22, between 22 and 21 is the quake over here. And then if we go back to the other one on this side, it's 19 or 18 and 20, somewhere in here. So they're only off a degree. I don't know what that's going to tell us. And then this other
keep going across there and see what it intersects on that.
Right.
Going east-west just for fun.
Well, if we go Mexico, 19 or 22 to 18, that's Colima. That's Puerto Vallarta, Guadalajara. This is an area we are really keyed on because of what happens in Cali when Colima goes off. There's a volcano down here. Right here, Colima volcano. There we go. Volcan de Colima, right? That's kind of interesting. That's in the range. If we looked over here, the Yucatan, haven't seen many earthquakes in the Yucatan. Have you?
No, not recently. I
Yeah.
don't remember.
Yeah, I don't either. The DR, Haiti, yeah, very much so. And we did have a 7 here, a year ago or so in Cuba.
Yeah.
And
On
and
that
then
same
we
line.
also out here around this region,
Whatever it was, 6.8, I think. Cuba.
somewhere out here, we've been seeing activity earthquake wise. Is this one? Okay, that's a surge. Here's the latest quakes. All right. I'm going to go 30 days on this one.
Yeah, it's swarming right now, DRPR area.
Yeah.
Mona Passage along that area going out between DR and PR.
Yeah, 30 days. All right. There is a interesting quake that's out there. I'm going to share this tab instead. Share back to here. Show on stream. All right. See this area of activity. Look at this anomaly way out here. 4.3 in the North Atlantic Ocean. Right. Let me see where the hell that's 23 north. So if I went back to here and did a paste and take a look at it, right on the Tropic of Cancer, right on it. Share this tab instead. That's where the earthquake happened, right? So right on the Tropic of Cancer. Very odd. An anomaly earthquake that's way out there. There's no plate boundaries.
Heard us talking about it. So
What's that?
I said it must have heard us talking about it, so it decided it was going to put one right on it.
Right? That's crazy.
USGS AI is watching.
Yeah,
Let's put one on there so they'll talk about it.
I know, right? Yeah, we're being led by the nose, right? I'm closing all these windows here. So,
well, just keep going on that same
right
line
there.
west and see what it intersects going the whole way around.
Right.
Across.
Share this tab. Back to sharing this. So we're looking between what is it, 22 and 18, right? Or this is like 23 and 18. So those, it's 5 degrees we're watching. Interesting that's 5 degrees, right? So we're going all the way across.
Yeah, just follow along and see what it runs into. And
right.
I can remember any.
Location, Drake Passage, class, moderate, magnitude, 5.2, depth, 10 kilometers, 21 minutes ago.
So she's still shaking.
So we're looking at 18 right here. Wait, where's 18? 23 and 21 north, all the way down to here. The Eye of Africa is in the midst of this. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
As we move across, we're looking at the Red Sea, right?
Look where we go. Look where we just went through.
Location, Drake Passage.
So we're getting close to where the Ethiopia.
Yeah, which is just south of it, right?
Yeah.
We had to get, all this spreading ridge down here, right? It goes all the way through Rwanda, Ethiopia, Malawi, Mozambique, all the way up here to Eritrea and Djibouti. So if I cross the not Sinai, but Saudi Arabia, looking on the Tropic of Cancer, that's the yellow line coming down the 5 degrees. Yeah. Indian Ocean. I think we had some activity there. Let me zoom out here.
Oh, we haven't had any big quakes in India yet.
No, we did have an Oman.
Big quakes there for other reasons, but
yeah, I know, right? Unfortunately for everybody. Islamabad. Yeah. Islamabad is there was another earthquake. there. View layers, everything. Okay, good. I don't know where the hell Islamabad is on this map.
Yeah, Pakistan.
Yeah, just where
Islamabad, Pakistan.
Karachi is. Karachi is. See, they put different names on these things too, on the world map, so we can't figure that shit out. Karachi's up here, but it's north. But south of it, we've got all the way through India. Myanmar. There's Mandalay. I was right, Mandalay. All right, cool. I don't know where the hell that was, but
7.7 was.
Yep. And we cruise over. Was that Taiwan?
Yeah, and if you go back to last year, that was when the big Taiwan quake was.
Right, and yeah, Taiwan's right here.
Same area we're looking at.
Yeah, and the Philippines, Luzon Strait is in that. So,
it's been acting up.
Yeah, right here on Taiwan, that was banging up pretty good. And if I zoom out on this map, we see earthquakes just north. So basically, these plate boundaries, if they move, we'll see earthquakes right up in here, right up along here, because these plates are moving along this limit, this east-west limit that we're following. And then up here, the Zuzu Islands up in here. We had these islands up in here. Nothing to be really said about regarding our activity. If I showed you here, this is the last 30 days, right? So north of our line, here's our line that goes across right here. Not so much up here, but look at all the quakes down here.
Yeah, so
right.
It's busy down there. Yeah.
So north on the Luzon Strait, right? So just the 5 degrees. This is the area of the 5 degrees. So here's the Isuzu, and I don't remember what these ones are called. But we're looking south of Japan, but we're looking right through the middle of Taiwan, right through here. Very busy down here. And then you come all the way across. Guess who's in the middle? Yeah.
Yeah. Which Hawaii's had 18 eruptions of. I think it's on number 18
Yep.
now.
It's on at number 18. Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So
when you go across, it comes back to the Caribbean again.
Yeah, if you keep going, we'll cross the Regito, we'll cross Jalisco, right? Colima, Michoacan. And so if we zoom back out, USGS doesn't report so many of these, but here we are here on a 4.3 Gagito, also Mexico right there, 4.4. And then right there is where the 7.6 happened, the start of it. And then you have this huge amount of activity right here. And look at the swarm. Look at that swarm between the DR and Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah, the passage.
Mm-hmm. Very, very interesting. And you can see also a couple of earthquakes down here that came in the last month. These only 1 month. If we looked at a whole year, you'd say, wow, what's going on between, the 4 degrees of those quakes. Now, doing the opposite from this quake right here, I'll put a little marker on it. I think it was right about there. So right there to right, I think our earthquake today is right about there. Maybe I can draw a line on it. Right, drawing a line here, and then drawing a line. It's not going to work with this round thing. But if we kept going north, right? We go through Alabama, we go through Havana, we go through Nashville, right? Chi-town, all the way up and over Nunavut, right? It's roughly straight. It's not going to be super straight, so bear with me. A little harder to do. Then we come back into Russia, right? Going over the top. I don't know where.
Location, Drake Passage, class moderate, magnitude 5.2, depth 10 kilometers, 28 minutes ago.
Well, I wonder how far off I am. Because that's Miramar. Look, watch this. Reset to north. Wow. If my line is straight. Oh, look at where I missed it. Hold on here.
Location.
Well, it's going to curve it because you're on Google Earth, right?
Right, but if
So it's making your line 3D.
29 minutes ago.
dude, they're all connected on the same line. All three quakes are on the same line. That'd be wild if it works out that way. It's very hard to draw a straight line on Google Earth.
Yeah, because it's going to curve it because it's 3D.
You can see how far off I am right here. But that's interesting. I'll reset to north again. Share this tab instead. Sorry for those people who aren't watching. What I did was I took a line on
Today's quake.
Which is roughly right here. Went north to the 776, which was roughly right here, Guatemalan quake. It was somewhere right in here.
So to me, that made sense why Guatemala would have had a big one after that same quake at the end of 75 going into 76, because see, it's all the same.
Right. It could be on the same lineament.
Same thing.
And that's kind of what we're looking at now. Trying to draw a straight line on Google Earth is really difficult. And goes through Thailand.
But to me, it's even more simple because...
See, right here is the other earthquake.
Even if you do it by plate boundary, it makes sense because the Drake Passage stuff should be pushing South America up into the Caribbean plate, and the Caribbean plate should be smashing into North America, right? So you should get adjustments all the way up from it having the 7.4 today. Because that's apparently what it did in 76, if you look it up. Yeah, that, like if we went in and looked at all the quakes in 76, you can see that that's
this darn thing just
and all the places we've talked about all.
See, we're off just a few degrees too. So the lineament here from this quake, the Miramar Mandalay, going up and over the north, up and over going like this from Mandalay. Let me look at Mandalay. Mandalay's like right here. So if I went north over Mandalay, over the top of the world, and look for this quake here, 9,700 miles. And then it'd be a little bit off for this quake here. And that's about where they're at. All right. So go back, reset to north. So do we see how there's a bend right here? So that bend. So I started here, went over the north to Mandalay, and we're off. Let's see how many degrees. roughly right. Whoop, sorry. We're roughly right there. What's that? 10, 15 degrees. Not a whole lot off, really. Just looking for why those quakes are happening. That's pretty new. I didn't see that coming. You know. So the vibrations can go 10 degrees one side or the other. Wow, that's pretty trippy. We may not have a triangle. We may have a straight line. So, and that's the curvature map. So, and looking at
Yeah, because Google Earth's 3D.
right, and they make the world round. The world's not round. It's roundish. It's definitely fat around the middle. But if you take all the oceans away, it looks like a rock. It don't look smooth like we know it to be. Very, very interesting.
Yeah. So if we just go back and look at 76 quakes on the wiki, we should do that last.
Put that link in there for me, and I'll pull it up.
I had it on my phone.
Nice to see you, Robin. Kitty Cat. Eagles, Denise, Susan, of course. Let's see. 42's in the house. Love him, bud. Ramblin' Wreck. Simply Sue. Beth Truman's out there. Budgie Bird. Big hugs to you, sister, over there in New Hampshire. Flutter Girl. Big hugs to you. Calmness 55. Loving you. Croatian Dude and Denise in the UK. Snow King and Timmy. And all those who I didn't call just because you don't want to be called. I'm not calling you. Respect, right? Yeah. Can't let somebody know you're watching. I know. It's such a pisser, but somebody gets jealous. Anyway, so did you put it in link? No, you didn't. I'm watching.
Yeah, I'm finding it here. Okay, copy.
Yeah, this quake happened right when I was getting up today. I was like, no pain. I had to take some pills, and the pain went away. And I remember it's now because I'm not laying down. I don't know what it is about laying down. It makes it hurt.
Yeah, I got it in there now.
Yeah, no. Control C. There we go. All right. So this is the last thing we'll do today on this rabbit hole.
Yeah, because when we looked at the spot where the 7.4 was today, there was a 6.5 in that same spot on December 29th, 1975. So then I wanted to see what happened in 76. So that's what I went to look to figure out what happened after that same spot got hit. The end of 75.
Yeah, good. I just watched a black woman brutalizing a white kid. Man, she hit him hard. Yeah. She's entitled. If you're so entitled, you think, oh, we're whatever. God, this mentality is evil. Well, you want to start a race war? That's the easy way of doing it. Destroy foot pain, bro. Okay, cool. Maybe see if I can do that. I got foot pain, baby. I got pain all over. Some people, whatever. Make masks illegal again. Anyway, 1976. Let's see if we're sharing that here on the site. Not yet.
Yeah, so we can start in January and just
there we go.
Right through.
All right, so we're gonna go down here by January. All right, so we're gonna look worldwide.
Yeah, we're gonna look at the whole thing.
Yeah, New Zealand, Kermetics in 1976. Because of what? The quake that happened in the Drake Passage was in 1976. That's why we're looking at it.
It was December 29th, 1975.
Right. On 75? So, all right. So we should be in 74, no?
Well, no, I just wanted to see what it was doing after
the fact. Okay, cool.
After that quake.
So we know that the quake happened already. Now we're going to look up the eastern side of the Pacific and look for something happening. New Zealand popped at a 7.3, but we're not going to watch that one.
It's all Kerms and then Kamchatka. Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
Iceland. Hey, look at Northern Region at 6.3 in Iceland.
Yeah.
And Kermitix, big quakes, big giant quakes. In Kamchatka too. Russia, big Kurils, big.
Svalbard and Jan 9.
Wow. Yeah.
Side Kuril Islands.
Crazy. And here's a Guatemalan quake in February, 7.5.
Yeah.
Now, remember, we just had a 7.6 in Guatemala, or they called it Nicaragua.
Well, they said offshore Honduras.
Honduras? Yeah. Well,
it's Caribbean North American plate boundary. It's all the same thing.
Right. And I'm going to show you real quick. That's where it happened right here. I can't even see it anymore. Hold on a second. Shit. I had to show you where the quake happened. And I'm going to put 7. I know it happened this year, so I'm going to put 1. I think it happened this year. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yeah, I think it was like start of the year, I think.
All right. Yeah, here it is. All right, share this tab instead. All right, there's the quake right there. Right, 7.6. Right. So back to, and the reason I show you that is because it leads right into Guatemala. That's the plate boundary. The triple junction's out here. Here's Honduras. Right, here's Salvador. Here's Nicaragua. But I call it Guatemala because the line or the plate boundary goes right there. Cape Town, Georgetown, all that stuff. Right up in here. And there was another pretty large quake here in Cuba late last year. So this quake right here is what we're talking about, the 7.6. Going back to 1976, share this tab instead. Guatemala, 7.5. Very, very interesting how looking up the years, you see very similar events. And at Papua, Philippines, March, United Santa Cruz Islands, which we've been seeing all of these happen in Papua. Guatemala again, 5.9. And there's a Turkey, a 5.2. Where is this province at? Oh, the Northern Anatolian, all the Far East.
Yeah, because there was a 7.3 and 76 in Turkey too. I think it was North Anatolia.
Okay. All right.
So you're going to see all these same things that we've been talking about.
6.7 Ecuador. We already saw a large Ecuadorian quake. Mid sixes, I think. Here's Turkey at 5.5 again. Here we are in May. Kermitix going really crazy. That's what's happening today. The Kermitix and Fiji and Tonga, Vanuatu, all really banging hard. Here's a Grecian quake. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened in 76, so I'm just listening. Ionian Sea. Now I know. Oh my gosh. I'm starting to shake in my shoes. Here's China, Yunnan. I don't know where Yunnan is. Where's the map of Yunnan? Okay. Get this. Yunnan is down by Burma.
Yeah, Yunnan.
Crazy.
Yunnan is the province all the Chinese people came from to go into Mandalay. If you read.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So we're seeing some overlapping, and we're in June now. Guerrero, Mexico, Indonesia. Well, Indonesia, Papua. Yeah.
Because the city of Mandalay is 50% Chinese now.
Yeah, I know. That's how they're breeding. That's how they're breeding the Russians out of Siberia as well. Interesting. Panama has a 7 on this one and a 6.7. Wow. Malaysia, a small one, 6.2. China had a 7.5. Where the hell is Hebe? Hebe-Chibi.
Hebei province, I think, is where
Way north.
Wuhan is.
Yeah, Wuhan. Yep. Tajikistan. We've already seen
also
that.
a white boundary that goes through
August. Burma, 6.4. Look, yeah, interesting correlations. Philippines has an 8. Wow. South of Mindanao.
We've had the South Philippines acting up there.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
I don't know where that one. It was just South
Mindanao. Yeah, it's south.
Or northeast coast. I guess it says.
Yeah. No, Morro Gulf earthquake. Extensive destruction, mostly a tsunami that came through.
So that's interesting.
Wow. Turkey, Denzhou province. Where the hell's this? Western Turkey. That's what's happening right now. Western Turkey. Wow. Here's some Italy quakes in September. Mid 6 and mid 5s. October. Papua, again, another 7. November. Iranistan, China, Solomons, Turkey, 7.3. Van province. Where the hell's that? Far east. Okay. That's a pressure coming out of Iran. Because I did see an Iranian 6.2 right there. Yeah. Northern Cal, 6.3. Every time Greece, Northern Cal. Crazy. December. South Africa. And Vancouver comes in with a 6.7. So if we're just looking at, so I'm going to follow down from Vancouver, right? 6.7 Vancouver. The U.S. Northern Coast, 6.3. See if I'm going down to the south. Anything? Seems like the eastern side of the Pacific is really banging. Panama, 7 and 6.7. Will we get any further south? Mexico grew out 6.4. Peru, 6.6. Still moving south. Ecuador, 6.7. A lot of New Zealand's Kermitics. Yeah. Guatemala, 5.9.
And we can look up the
7.5 Guatemala.
1962 because there was 6.4, almost that same spot in.
Well, if I reverse engineer it, it would suggest that when's the latest earthquake that happened up in Canada? Let me see here. I'll share this tab. The last 30 days. Well, Vancouver just had a little tiny one, but
yeah, well, the last 6, I think, or near 6, was up there between Vancouver Island and Haida Gwaii. Okay. In the last year.
4.2 happened on April 13.
Yep.
All right, so we're not. Oh, there's one out here. 4.3 happened April 21. So we're not seeing it today. What is this one? 5.1 happened yesterday. Was it 3.3? So that's not going to help us. So go back to this. Share this tab. So it could be watching Panama, watching Guatemala, which we already see this Guatemalan quake. I'm going to go back in 74. Let's see what happened. in what is it? 74 and 75. So Chile popping with a 7, Peru 6, Argentina 6, February, Alaska 6-4, Costa Rica 6-3, March, Nicaragua 6-1, April, Colombia 5-2, May, I don't know where Fortuna is. Prince Edward.
It's Caribbean.
Okay. Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Pacific Central Bryce got a 6-1. South Georgia, Sandwich Islands a 6. Peru 6-1. Gulf of Mexico 6-3. Venezuela 6-1. July. Panama 7-3. Panama's been hitting pretty steady too. There's a Costa Rican volcano that's been pretty active.
Yeah, because didn't we have 6 point something offshore?
Yeah.
Already this year.
Yeah. Chile is 7-1. October, Peru 8-1, Lima. Whoa. November, Peru, Lima 7-2 right after it. Oh man.
So what was this 74 we're looking at now?
Yeah, 74, yeah. Peru 6-0. Guatemala 6-1. Okay, now I'm going to 75. January. Colombia 6-5. February. Alaska 7.6. Near islands. I think it's way out there. Andrina Islands is 6-5. March. Chile 6-9. Peru 6-2. Idaho 6-1. We just had a Utah quake not too long ago. Not Utah, but Idaho. Oh no, Utah, yeah, Salt Lake.
Yeah, we did have a Utah one here just in the last couple of days.
Just a couple of days ago, yeah. Not very big though.
3
Yeah.
I think it originally came in at big.
So Idaho. It must have been interior of Peru. Let me see where that is. Yeah, interior Peru. It goes to Idaho. I don't know how many times we've seen that. Venezuela 6-1. It is definitely on the interior side. Guerrero, Mexico 6-2. May. Chile, Bio 7-7. Northern Atlantic an 8. Largest event in 1975, North Atlantic earthquake. I don't know where.
Where's that? Does it give the...
Oh, dude, it's not in the North Atlantic, man. It's on that plate boundary between not the Maldives, but I forget the guys in the middle of the Atlantic, all the way to Spain. That's wild. The Azores and Spain, between the Azores and Spain, 7.5 to a 7.9. It had magnitude 7.9 to 8.1, but got lowered. Wow. That's interesting right there. Let me see. Share this tab instead here, right? So right here on this little map, here's the Azores out here, and here's Iberia, right? Or Spain, right there in the middle. So if I click on it, it's not going to give me the freaking thing. But I'm going to get the coordinates on this. I've got to check this out. Go to Google Earth.
See where it is. Exactly.
Yeah, I want to know exactly where this booger is. All right, one of them's wrong, so it's got to be a negative of 35.
So now we're leading into the Drake Passage quake in 75.
All right.
The end of 75.
Yeah, we're getting there. I'm trying to find it. Where this? Okay. Oh man. Yeah. Here's the Lisbon, right? We're always watching for 1775 or 1755 to reoccur. In 1975, this 8 happened along this plate boundary that comes up and through here. We've seen some earthquakes out here too over the last year. So, and we've seen some earthquakes over here in the these islands out here. I can't get them. I don't know why. All right, share this tab instead. Okay, getting back to it. Yellowstone National Park had a 5.9. June. So we have Idaho, right? Yeah, Idaho 6.1. Yellowstone Park 5.9. So basically 2 6s, real close to each other in the middle of the United States. Gulf of Cali had a 6.5. August. Northern Cal had a 5.7. 10 people were injured, damaged all over the cross. I don't know where this is located. It says Northern Cal. Goes for 3 million. All right. Argentina 6.2. Then we get into September. Turkey. Freaking, I don't know where that one did the event. Eastern Turkey. All right. So Eastern Turkey's been banging out pretty hard over these years that we're covering. Chile 6.3. Yeah. I don't know where I don't care about that. November, Guam. We don't need Hawaii 7.7. November. Local tsunami killed a couple of people. And in December, Peru had a 6. Greece had a 5.5. I didn't see anything. Was it Sandwich Islands we were looking at?
Yeah, it was Drake Passage. They said December 29th, 1975.
It's not on this list.
No, because you have to look it up with the other thing I use.
Yeah. The GIA.
No, there's an earthquaketrack.com. It's kind of like USGS, but it's got more sources. So I use that to find the specific spots. Because what I do, I can put in that. I can say list of Drake Passage historic earthquakes, and it gives me a bunch of them and shows them all. Like in order from the highest mag to the lowest mag that they know about. So I searched like Drake Passage quakes, and it lists them all. And it puts them from like highest mag to lowest mag.
What do you have to do? A keyword search?
Yeah, I do it. I just do a search. I did like Drake Passage earthquake history, and then one of the things that comes up is the earthquaketrack.com thing, and then I just go into that, and it shows me all the top mag earthquakes.
Well, it doesn't help me. It's not helping me at all doing that search.
Yeah, I'd have to bring it up. It's on my phone, so I'd have to.
Yeah, I understand. It's on an app. You're using the app. I'm not.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get it to come up in here too.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's. So what have we learned? Well, that we're a bunch of yummies. These are the large 25 earthquakes, right? There's 4 of them. We have today's earthquake, a 7.4. We have the 7.6 in Georgetown or near it. We have the Tonga 7.0 and the Mandalay 7.7. Look at this line. Bang, Wait, share this tab instead. Bang, bang, bang. Tell me you don't see that. You can't. Bang, bang, bang. Uncharacteristic. This is a triangle here. This is a triangle here. This is a triangle here. Because he sees triangles. I don't. I'm just making them up. Look at this. Bang, bang, right? I think this line and this line. I'm going to be watching Guam over to Hawaii, Mexico, Taiwan for something greater than a 7. If that line shows us, and what's our history? When was the Tonga quake? April 30. All right. This is the first one. Happened on February 8th, April 30. Then Mandalay happened on April 28. And now we're down here. Yeah, I got to see Hawaii, maybe even Kamchatka. I got to see that's going to go north. The northern part of the Pacific plate, even Hawaii, the northwestern. That's what I'm going to watch. So appreciate y'all. You know, Canuck, of course. For those who haven't seen it, documents. Let me.
There, I found it on.
All right.
Because it's earthquaketrack.com website, but I'm going to put the link in there. Because it shows all the ones that have been in that same area going back that they know about. Bring it up here.
All right, let me.
Because I had to do a search to get it to come up again.
All right. Go like this, like this. And you know, Hawaii is erupting right now, by the way. Again. Let me see here.
Oh, so it is.
Share screen. Window.
It's not copying it.
Share this. All right. All right. So I have this to share with you.
Do it again. Too many things open. Yeah, it's got a pop up over it. That's why it's not copying.
I don't know why there's no sound, but I hope there's sound for y'all. Hey, maybe there is no sound.
And it's not.
I need to find out why. Oh my gosh.
There.
Yeah.
I guess it's just taking me to the.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm going to play this again. Oops. Sorry about that. I found it just as we did it. There we go. Playing it again, Sam. There we go. It's got audio now. Damn. or Rumble. Yeah, make sure you like and share this video, subscribe. Appreciate it all over there on YouTube and Rumble. Thank you so much, everybody. I've been appreciate you. Appreciate you, Canuck. We're gonna stop this video on YouTube and Rumble right now. So appreciate y'all. And dun, 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 dun. There we go. And yeah. So love y'all. Remember, don't get none on you. Rabbit Hole is Saturday night, 7 o'clock, Arizona time. Figure it out.